And what I wanted to write about is people making mistakes, and that's actually okay, and it's very normal. I read a lot of books where the female characters were flawed, like Louise's, but I didn't feel that they were flawed enough.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
Really looking forward to our next conversation here at Get Radio with Sarah Whitton, author of a new book that has come out literally today. I didn't see that coming. Sarah, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Look, absolute pleasure. It's been really fascinating already chatting to you just off air about feelings and kind of what were the sort of mixed bag of emotions about having a book that is going to go out into the public domain literally today. But before we get on to all of that, tell us a little bit about the book and of course set in Oxford and a classic tale, if I might say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, you might think that. There are some twists and turns in the book. So we start with Louise, who's kind of a normal girl, hitting the normal milestones at her early 30 age. And she knows there's something missing. It's that settling down element of life. She finds someone to do that with, but he's very unavailable. There are lots of elements of him. I mean, there's no, it's not a spoiler. He's married, unhappily married, and makes lots of promises that she, at the point she is in life, believes a lot of it. She's got a crew of friends that are campaigning for her happiness. She kind of makes so many mistakes. And what I wanted to write about is people making mistakes, and that's actually okay, and it's very normal. I read a lot of books where the female characters were flawed, like Louise's, but I didn't feel that they were flawed enough. and they kind of, they come to their conclusions and their realizations in life quite early. But I really wanted to just represent maybe a different element of making huge mistakes in life and how you overcome that.
It's a fascinating side because I think it's relatable on so many accounts because male, female, whatever, you kind of go into relationships. You've had good ones, you've had bad ones, you've made the mistakes, and you've kept making those mistakes. It's that thing of love, isn't it? Love makes us do those weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, it does, and Louise is no exception. And equally, Dan is no exception. He makes the same mistakes, but just from a different platform.
Yeah, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing because it feels like it's so relatable. I know coming from sort of a female point of view with the lead character of Louise and what have you, but just hearing those bits and bobs, I think everyone this morning kind of listening is going, yeah, we've all had those relationships where, okay, it was a bad relationship, or it was we shouldn't be going into that relationship, or and then actually having potentially you can't see the wood for the trees, if you will, with what's in front of you.
Yeah, and I suppose I just wanted to create a space for readers to know that there's no judgment here. You may have done that and you may not be particularly proud of the things you've done, but you know what? Louise is waving your flag. Do you know what I mean? Because she definitely wore the T-shirt a lot.
Yeah, brilliant.
But I wanted to write about Oxford as well in a different way because I felt Oxford is my place. It's my home. It's always going to be home to me. But I was never the uni. I was not there at university, and I just felt that books in Oxford are often written from a murder mystery. We obviously know about Cara Hunter, who's fantastic, and the Morse and stuff like that. But I wanted to write a bit about pubs and the suburban life, and the bits that I remember growing up.
Yeah, and you touched on something that is still completely rife and happens right to this day, the town versus gown debate. That there's people that live in Oxford that stay there throughout the whole year. They have houses, they grew up there like yourself, and kind of and then the students that breeze in for 3 to 5 years, take over, leave after 6 months, come back for another few months, and think that they own a place as well. So it is having a real sort of different insight into an Oxford that is maybe not portrayed quite as much, like you say, in all the other things, which are kind of like, it's the beautiful buildings, the beautiful schools, the beautiful this and that. It's actually like, there's a really nice pub around the corner that you might not know about. And
I hope that comes out. I hope people will go, I remember that pub. I remember it being called that. because they change their names so often.
Yeah.
So I hope that's, you know, a bit of a trip down memory lane for some people.
Oh, brilliant. I'm sure it's going to be doing fantastically and amazing well. I wanted to speak to you because we chatted just before we came on air, and you said to me, what a range of emotions that you've got today. Because as I mentioned earlier, the book is released today, literally today. It's happening right now. You woke up this morning, it's out there, it's in the public domain. And you had the little nervous laugh as well. I think that sort of sums it up. How are you feeling with this? Because writing something, I know I've had friends who are authors and been published and what have you. It is that sort of feeling of writing something down that you're proud of, that you've done, that you've put your heart and soul in, that you've worked to, and you've put it out there. But then suddenly it's that feeling of, oh, everyone else is reading it now. Oh, I hope everyone gets the same things that I get, that I'm trying to put into it. Can you explain it at all?
Yeah. I mean, I'm terrified with an equal measure of being really proud. You know, I didn't go to university, so when I remember going into my careers office at school and saying I wanted to be a writer and a journalist, and he said, "Well, that's nice, but how about a backup?" And I remember feeling really deflated at that point because that's all I wanted to do. So today I feel massively proud that I did it. And I think some of the early reviews from NetGalley and some of those places have reinforced that it's not a bad book. It's quite a good read. But then I immediately counteract that with, oh, but what if it isn't? So there's a lot of anxiety about, you know, what people might think. But I think fundamentally this morning I've woken up really proud. I did it, and I'm very happy with it. Very happy with the book.
No, absolutely. And it still astounds me, kind of the thought of sitting down and writing a note to myself. Is kind of out of my reach, let alone something that is cohesive, that is engaging, and that is gripping for slightly more than the 2 lines that I could probably muster up. Is an amazing and wonderful feat, and you should absolutely be so proud of it. In terms of future, obviously published now today. What does the future look like? Is there more things bubbling away on the back burner?
Sure, yeah. So I'm about a quarter through the book 2. It's not connected to this one. It's a fresh story. It's all gone a bit quiet, some holidays and promotion for this book. So as soon as this quietens down, I'm back at it, writing when I can, creating the story. I'm actually really missing those new characters already because I just started to get to know them. And whenever I have a thought about what I might do with them or where it might go, I put it into my phone. And so I've got all these ideas to collate and put down when I actually find the time and the summer holidays are over. There's more coming.
Get the kids back to school.
Yeah. Well, I'm working as well, so I have to try and fit it all in. You know, it's just difficult, but I'll always try to find a few hours a week at least to do that.
Amazing stuff. And for anyone sparked of interest, where can people find the book, and where can people have a little read of it?
Sure. So, I mean, it's available at all the usual places, you know, Waterstones, Amazon, all the biggies. I have been into my local indie bookshops to talk about it. So there's one in Cowley, there's some in Oxfordshire, the wider area. So if you want to go in and order it there, they will know about it. They should do. And so support the local indie bookshops for sure. But yeah, it can be, it's available everywhere, but I think you'll have to order it. I don't think you'll be able to find it on the shelves just yet.
Brilliant stuff. Well, congratulations first and foremost.
Thank
I wish you every success with it, and I'm sure people will be picking up for their holiday reads if they've got a couple of weeks left before the kids go back. There, yeah, exactly. So, Sarah, thanks so much for joining us this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's brilliant stuff. That's Sarah Whitton, a local author of I Didn't See That Coming. Sounds a real interesting read. Pick it up for your holidays. There we go.